let's say, planning itself. So you could have strategic thinking, but it's not going to involve a lot of planning. I don't mean to paint these things as 0 or 100. It's a sort of a proportionality thing, but there's going to be less planning in strategic planning. The other words that are going to become obsolete is one I've mentioned already, that it's sort of a management activity, that it's sort of meant to be done by just the top people in a corporation. That thought, I can't put a word to it. Let's say it's elitism in strategic planning. That's going to become obsolete. What else? I think our ideas of data are going to change. What constitutes data for strategic planning is going to look very different. It's not, because most strategic planning involves data from the core of the organization. So it's usually operational trends or marketing trends or sales trends from the past few years extrapolated into the future. And I think the data around a different way of thinking about the future is going to come from, for example, trend spotting, which is a completely different orientation to data collecting than just running Excel spreadsheets from the past.
There are a lot of soft words that are going to come in. I'll give you some examples on what do we mean by soft words. For example, the word competition tracking might change to perceptiveness. And your unique differentiators might change to empathy. Your customer feedback might change to life impacting social score. Your competition might change to collaborative opportunities. So I think a lot of these soft words are going to come in, and they're going to challenge the hard structure. And then you can already hear Satya Nadella talk quite a bit about empathy, and Google talking about perceptiveness, and Manoj was mentioning about businesses impacting life and social space. I think these softer words are going to come in more and replace the harder words like differentiators and customer feedback and MIS and acquisitions, and these words are going to go away. And I quite agree with Manoj that planning itself, planning will remain, but the perspective of planning will change. Because planning kind of gives you a little arrogance about, I know how it's going to pan out, so let me plan it. I think that doesn't contain humility. So that's going to change quite a bit. Maybe it could be more responsible word like co-seeing the future or co-creating. So these are some words I think might come back in the buzz, or at least Manoj and I will make sure it comes in the buzz over the next few years.
I'd like to add one more phrase to that list, Gopi, which is strategic intuition. There are actually a few books that have been written on the subject, I think. I know someone at the University of Columbia here in New York City who's talking about strategic intuition. And this is in a fairly conventional MBA program. This is not some hippie outgrowth on the fringes. You know, it's as mainstream as it gets.